we are with a nice cup of coffee. Someone is probably going to bring a burrito for breakfast here in a few minutes, because I ordered that. We're still in Mexico. And but I want to talk about today about a heavily loaded subject, and it's about feelings. And why are we not talking about feelings? Why are men, especially, I think, not really talking about their feelings? So it's a big thing. I think first of all to realize is it's not necessarily the problem we are not talking about the feelings, is rather the problem we are not feeling them in the first place. So if we are not feeling them in the first place, how can we ever talk about it, if we're not feeling them? So the main problem here is not necessarily the talking and not necessarily the expression, because that comes after the feeling itself. You can only express and talk about a feeling once you feel it, right? But the problem here is we are disconnected from it. And we don't even notice we have them. And that's the main problem. That's the main issue here. I have a journal here because I've had write down some bullet points. And the main thing is we feel a certain way, and our direct reaction is I don't want to feel like this. So for example, it depends on how heavily disconnected you are from your feelings. But if you're very disconnected from your feelings, it can be that it only comes up as a physical symptom. So that was the case with me. It came up as a physical symptom, like a feeling in the throat. It can be a feeling in the heart, in the stomach, in the pressure, or in the throat, or it can be anywhere in the body basically. And the emotion manifests itself as a physical symptom. And our direct reaction to this is, I don't want to feel like this. I want to get rid of this feeling because it's annoying, it's taking over our mind, and we focus on the feeling and we try to fight it, we try to get rid of it. And emotions we feel or are most of the time have to do with the resistance towards feelings. So what do I mean with this? What emotions do I mean with this? It's like we feel angriness. That's something we can feel. We feel angriness, we feel aggression, resistance. We feel fear, and we feel shame. So these four are the things, the four emotions, let's say. I'm going to tell you why I do this later, but these are the four emotions we feel. It's angriness, resistance, fear, and shame. And what are these four things? These four things are not necessarily the emotion we have to deal with. It's rather the resistance towards the emotion. So with angriness, it's like you feel something in the body and the direct reaction is like angriness, like, fuck, why I feel like this, fuck, I need to get rid of this. You don't know what to do with this energy, and you get taken over by this angriness, and you project it onto other people, onto your girlfriend, like, I'm angry because someone did this to me. I'm angry because my girlfriend treats me like this, because my friend treats me like this, because I've been feeling like this, or, oh my fucking god, I've been feeling this anxiety for so long, when am I gonna fucking get rid of it? Finally, it's so annoying, super resistant, the angriness. And the resistance itself is like, oh, I don't want to feel like this. I don't want to feel this resistance. Oh, I don't want to feel this fear. Oh, I need to get rid of this. I need to, you're not accepting it at all. You're just fighting against it. So that's why the thing you feel is the angriness and the resistance, because it's rather that's the effect of you fighting against these deeper emotions, because the resistance and angriness is not what we need to process. It's rather something deeper. But fear is the same thing, and fear is a super tricky one. Fear is the one I really struggled with myself. That's my main thing, let's say. And I can make hundreds of videos about fear. But to go into it shortly, fear is like you're scared of what is going to happen, right? That's the main thing with fear. You don't want to feel like this, what you're feeling right now. You're fearful that something bad is going to happen, or fearful that you're going to be weird in the future. So fear is also a form of resistance of the future. And if the future is just imagined, because it's imagined, most of the time the fear we imagine is not based on reality or not something that's really going to happen. So we are fearful of the future. What is the future? It's a thought, it's a projection. So we are fearful of the thought. So we are resisting the thought with fear. Fear is also a way of resistance. You're not open. And then shame is another one. What are people going to think about me? Maybe I'm going to act weird. People cannot notice that I am like this because they're going to judge me. So what we do is we keep ourselves and our negative sides, we keep it hidden because we feel so much shame that other people are going to judge us. And these 4 ways of resistance and fighting, let's say, are blocking us from feeling. They are blocking us from the feeling. They are separating us from what we feel by resisting. And we keep the struggle secret. I also wrote that one down. That's an interesting one. Why do we keep the struggle so secret? I always used to do this, like if I tell you from my own experience, like I felt this crazy anxiety. I've had a period in my life where I had like panic attacks maybe every 2 days, and my life would be just constantly building towards a panic attack. So the moment I would wake up, I would be anxious and I would have the fear that I was going to die. So I would constantly project myself that I was going to die, not like in 10 years, but like right now. And I would judge everything I feel because I thought if I would feel it, I would die. So literally feeling emotions would be for me to die. There's a deeper spiritual meaning to that, but this is just a short backstory of me. And then if I would be in a restaurant or in a social situation, I would feel so anxious, and then sometimes I would go to the toilet, like a few times during a dinner, because I wanted to keep this side of being anxious secret, because I didn't let myself feel this way because I thought it was wrong. I thought it was wrong how I was feeling. I was ashamed of how I was feeling. It was not good how I was feeling because everyone seemed to be so normal and I was struggling with this and I didn't want this to be there. So what could I do? I just could be alone in the toilet and be like, fuck, running away from it and not showing it. I wasn't like this is a big thing, but like, oh my God, I feel so anxious, guys. I feel like I'm having a panic attack because I feel like I was going to be judged. And also people don't really know how to handle those things. But then still, I didn't share it. And I see a lot of people that are struggling with things. There it is, the burrito. Yes, you can put it here. You can put it here. Gracias. So, let's see. Oh, big burrito, man. Oh, amazing. It smells very nice with chicken and everything. I hope it's not gonna get cold. But to get back to the point, we are struggling in private. We are dealing with our shit in private. We are not opening up about it because we are not opening up to ourselves about what we're feeling because we're resisting it so much. And then it's like an endless loop of like closing down, becoming a shell of what we could be, becoming closed. What I mean with becoming closed is like we're not open. We're not opening up towards how we're feeling. We're becoming closed. We're resisting. We're becoming a shell of a man we could be. And we live just a life of just suffering. We become heavy through it. Like we become like serious. We become heavily loaded. We become judging towards others, resistant, fearful, depressed, the whole fucking sequence. And we don't want to feel like that, okay? Let that be clear. And we know that. So how are we going to approach this? The way the mind wants to approach it, and the way I've been approaching it for a long time, that's not the right way, is like, okay, I'm going to try to feel this emotion in order to get rid of it. That's also not acceptance. is like, okay, I'm gonna try and do this, approach this emotion good, so I can cry and I can let go of it and I can finally get rid of it. But that's still a form of resistance. The mind is smart. Don't underestimate the mind. It's so smart. It gets us unconscious, and then we fall into its traps. But there is a way. But it's not through the way of we're gonna feel this emotion in order to get rid of it and to live a normal life again. No, it's much bigger than this. So how do we really handle this? First of all, realize how we are feeling and realize that we are hurt. Krishnamurti, very good spiritual teacher, bit advanced. I couldn't relate to his practices a year ago, but now I feel like he's a very great teacher, Krishnamurti. Check him out. I don't know if I pronounce his name correctly, but what he says is like, when we deeply realize we are hurt and we are in pain in this very moment, we can start to transform it, to transmute it. But the whole suffering comes from the denying of the fact that we are hurt. We are trying to feel good. We are doing our best to project ourselves to the outside world of like, okay, we are here, we feel good, we're doing our best, but deep down we're hurt. Deep down we're in pain. And because we've been living a whole life of suffering, if we've been struggling with anxiety for so many years, if we've been struggling with these judging thoughts about ourselves for so fucking many years, how do we think we can solve it in one moment? It's like when we really face this, we really face the depths of looking into our fears, looking into what we are running away from with an open heart, and be like, and feel it, just face it, feel it, and let ourselves be taken over by it. Don't try to control it. Don't try to think about it. Don't try to get rid of it. Just feel it in its rawness, and probably it's going to be a lot of sadness, a lot of crying to process this, and it's heavy, man. You need to be ready for it. I don't want to say that it's heavy to discourage you to feel it, because it's the most beautiful process and the most necessary process you can go through in your life. And I want to say in my opinion, but I feel like that's just what it is. It's just the truth. To really realize you've been suffering for this long takes courage, but when you release this, let go of this, finally you can let go of these heavy patterns, man. Holy shit, and that feels so good. It feels so freeing to let go of these patterns that have been dominating you for so long, but because you've been caught by this so long unconscious, it feels like it's the normal you, it's the normal state of who you are, the normal state of being. You get so used to feeling this suffering that you don't even know that you feel like this, but only from another perspective and from a real reflection of like, oh my God, I felt like this. And because you look at it from another perspective, what is this perspective you look at it from? It's a perspective from love, from compassion, from kindness towards yourself, from self-love, and to really be there for yourself and see like, fuck man, I've been feeling like shit for so long. That takes a great deal of self-love. And that's the growth, that's the process we are going through here. To let go of these heaviness, this oh, I need to do this, oh fuck. But to release this pain, it's the most beautiful thing there is, because you're not in the grip of the mind anymore. Eventually everything becomes possible if you don't have this heavy agenda of like how things should be going and how you should be doing and why you're not good enough. And if you can let go of all this, imagine there is no restrictions anymore on life. There's no agenda, no things you need to do. It's only creating from a place of what do I want? What do I feel joy towards? But this is amazing to live like this. Let me look in my journal. So we don't have to control it anymore. We don't have to repress it anymore, and we don't have to fix it anymore. We don't have to judge it anymore, And we don't even have to think about it anymore. So if all that disappears, what is left? What is left? And I would say what is left is reality itself. Truth itself. And we can see through this illusion of the mind that has created this whole persona that is struggling with this and that needs to do something. But if you can let go of that and realize that it's been just an illusion. It's just an illusion. It didn't have anything to do with you in the first place. And you had the free choice to believe in it. You chose to believe in it if you want to believe that or not. You wanted to experience this suffering in order to realize the truth of who you are and to realize this illusion. But to do this, what can you say about it? Approach your struggle, approach your suffering, approach your heaviness, your annoyingness, all that comes to it, everything, your fear, approach it from a place of self-love and say to yourself maybe like, it's been heavy, to recognize that it's been heavy and recognize that you've been suffering and realize like, Jesus, it's been heavy. I've been struggling, but I'm safe now. Then your emotions can be processed, and to fully surrender to what you're feeling, fully surrender to like a higher power, not in a mental image of a higher power, but just fully letting go of yourself and trusting that you are guided. Is eventually the consciousness or the state of being we are moving towards. And it's amazing and it's completely free of all these limitations, but you need to do the work and you need to have the courage to process this pain in order to become free from it. And in order to realize it's all an illusion, you cannot just say like, oh, it's an illusion and I'm rid of it. There's a physical aspect to it, physical process to it. But that was it for today. I'm gonna eat my burrito, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you are struggling with emotions, if you're struggling with thoughts and you feel like you need some help, there's a top link in the description. I can help you for free. I would take the chance right now because I'm not that, I don't have that big of a following yet, so still have enough time. But in the future, no, I'm just joking. But you never know how it goes. But if you want to talk with me about how you're feeling, about your struggles, and I can maybe give you some good advice, check the top link in the description, book a call with me and see what I can mean for you. For the rest of you guys, or for everyone watching this, good luck and acknowledge the struggle. Don't try to run away from it. And see what you become. See you guys later, man.